Hi, I'm Kevin Dahani, and today I'm going to show you how to clean and repair masks that are made out of paper mache and plaster wrap. Now, these masks were all used in a recent production of The Lion King. They were worn by children, and they were worn for 7 full theatrical performances, plus numerous dress rehearsals. And these masks have really held up beyond all my expectations. But like anything that's used in the theater, it's going to get makeup on it, it's going to get a little dirty, and there's going to be some minor repairs that are going to need to be made on the masks. So the first thing I'm going to do is to show you some of the techniques that I use to clean them. This mask, for example, has got some spots. I don't know if you can see it like there. It had makeup all on the inside of the straps, because this was worn on top of the actor's head. The straps came around the chin, and of course got makeup all on them on the inside. So the first thing that I do is just take a plain paper towel. I wet it, get it damp, and maybe just put a very smallest amount of like liquid dish detergent on it, but just barely, you don't even need barely any of that. And just do a very gentle surface cleaning. After I did the surface cleaning, some of the spots were a little bit more difficult to get off. I think they were the grease paint makeup that we used. And so what I did for that, any place where there was makeup on the masks, I just took out one of these makeup remover towelettes. Doesn't matter what brand you use. This one happens to be Neutrogena. But I would take out one of these towelettes and just wipe it on wherever there was makeup, and it came right off. Beautiful. For some of the other spots that were on the surface of the mask that maybe didn't come off with just the damp water cloth, I took isopropyl alcohol, and again, just using my damp paper towel, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on there, and I just rub it like that, gently, and as you can see, that spot came right off. Perfect. So you can do that for the whole mask. If you need to get into little crevices, you might also want to have some Q-tips handy. You can also use these little round cotton pads. They work great as well. So after thoroughly cleaning the mask and then just doing a visual inspection, this one, for example, I'm going to get in really close here so you can see there's a little tear right here on the side. This mask really is only about 3 layers of plaster wrap and paper mache. It's very thin, and so there's going to be little tears like this from time to time. You could prevent these tears by doing multiple layers of the plaster wrap and the paper mache, but the problem is then your mask gets very heavy, and so you're sacrificing that light weight for a heavier mask. So in this case, it's a really small repair, not really a big deal. So some of the materials that I'm using to do this repair are just the paper mache paste, which is flour, water, and salt. I've got my Scott shop towels. These are for glass, and this is what I use to actually make the mask. And so I've just got some of these. I also had a bunch of celluclay left over, and if you're not familiar with this is a really awesome material. Once you mix it up, it kind of looks like oatmeal. It's kind of like thick lumpy oatmeal. And what I was using this for is to kind of use as sort of a mortar. I would, well, I'll just show you as I do the repair. So I take a little bit of this celluclay, and so maybe now what I can do is zoom in on this a little bit for you. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of my celluclay, and I'm just going to put it kind of right inside that tear, kind of in and around it. And you can use your fingers to kind of pack it in there. And really you don't need to use the celluclay. I'm just kind of doing it a little bit of overkill. This is going to harden like hard as a rock. Just a little bit extra protection for this area that was damaged. So, and then all I have to do is take a piece of the Scott shop towel, and I'm just going to dip it into my paper mache paste. And I'm just going to go right over the top of that celluclay, right on the edge here. Just as I did when I originally paper mache'd the mask. And you're definitely going to want to squeeze out every bit of air bubble that you can. So that's it for this first part of the repair. Now, if it was a much deeper repair, you could definitely go over it again with a second layer of the paper mache. You just take another piece, put it in your paper mache paste, and go right over the top of that first one to really reinforce it. And that's it. Now, all you have to do is I would let this dry at least overnight, and then you can go back and paint over it. And from stage, you will never, ever be able to tell that this had any damage to it at all. This is one that I did earlier this morning. As you can see, it's already dry. I'm going to probably let it dry overnight, though, to really get it a good, make sure it's completely dried through and through. This one had a big kind of chunk taken out of it. And so that's where the celluclay really came in handy, using it just like mortar, like brick and mortar, where I kind of troweled it in this little hole. And then I reinforced with the paper mache on the inside. And now that this is a little bit more dry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with another piece of paper mache, get it really nice and saturated with my paper mache paste, and I'm going to go right over the top of all of that again to just really reinforce that little bit of damage. And then this way, when I go to paint it, it's going to be smooth. You're not even going to ever see it. Make sure you get on the inside really well, get all the air bubbles out. And that's it. So I do have some other tips for what you can do. For example, if it's during the performance. During the performance, we did have a few little tragedies that happened, and especially with the lead characters, you can't stop the play and affect this kind of a repair, so you have to do something quick. And so one of the things that we did was we had the hot glue gun plugged in and ready to go, and there were a couple small little tears on the sides. Again, it just happens to be on the sides, and it's how the kids are holding the masks. And we just used the hot glue gun and just did it right on that tear, and it was good to go. It was ready to go back on stage. Another trick you can do, since all the masks are black on the inside, we also had a roll of black duct tape standing by. And so as you see kind of like what I did here on the inside with paper mache, you could do the same thing with black duct tape and just tape any cracks or tears that happen from the inside. Just, obviously don't go over the edge, or you'll see it on the outside edge. But on the inside, use that black duct tape. You'll never see it, and it'll hold strong for the rest of the performance. And as you know, the duct tape comes in many different colors. We had black for the lionesses that were gold on the outside. We had some gold duct tape so that if there was something extensive on the outside, you'd never see it from the stage. One last tip that I have for cleaning is for things like the inside of this baseball cap, which, it was it was worn by teenagers for many, many days, and they get a little bit funky, and there's no way you can wash the inside of this baseball cap. The same goes with certain types of costumes. There's a lot of costumes you can't throw into the washing machine, or take them to the dry cleaner, in between performances. So this is a great tip. All you need is to go to the liquor store and buy the cheapest bottle of vodka that you can find. Just regular straight vodka. Put it inside of a little spray bottle like this. All right, and then all you have to do is give a few spritzes on the inside of this baseball cap or on the outside clothes of a costume, and as soon as it dries, the smell is gone. It's perfect. It's a perfect solution. Just make sure that you put the spray vodka on the items and not... That's not good. Anyway, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed and got some good information out of my repair video. And if you have any other questions or need any more tips, just visit my website at theartfulness.com.